Welcome back to my channel. Let's take a look at this geometry question. It's asking, what is the value of z? Z is right here. I'm going to show you how to solve this question right now.
It's like every day.
So as you can see, we have several angles going on here. We have lines, the three green lines that intersect to form a triangle. Then we have several degrees here. So here we have 42 up here. We have Q, Z, R, and then we have a 7x and 13x. What does that mean at the bottom there? Okay, we'll get back to that. Let's go back to the top here. So here you see 42 degrees. And if we use our knowledge of opposite angles, 42 degrees, where the two lines intersect here, you'll see 42 at the top, and then that means that the angle at the bottom is also 42 degrees because it's called an opposite angle or a vertical angle. So if this is 42 degrees at the top, then Q is also 42 degrees. So we're going to put that there. So that part's solved for now. Z is still unsolved, but we have to go over here first before we can go back this way. So if you look over here, you see a 7x and you see a 13x. What do we do with that? Okay, so we need to solve for R as well. And once everything is solved here, then I'm sure it's going to give us the ability to solve for Z. So 7x and 13x, they're angles that are next door to each other. But we have to use our knowledge of angles to get what this is in order to work it out, and equations also. So we need our knowledge of equations and angles. So if you look at this straight line here, this is a straight line angle, right? Then you have an angle coming off of that straight line, which is this angle here. So this resembles a 180 degree angle if I was to coordinate off like that, right? Because a whole circle here would be 360, right? But this is half of a circle, so half of a circle would give 180. So then now we can set up our equation to find out what x is. We need to find out what x is. That's always the objective, because they didn't give us a degree, right? So this is the test that they're giving us down here. So let's set up an equation. 7x plus this 13x is going to be equal 180 degrees. And then from there, we have to solve what x is and then plug the x in. So what is 7 and 13? So that will give us 20x equals 180. Then what we need to do is do the opposite operation, right? So 20 with nothing in between the variable is a multiplication. 20 times x. So what we have to do to get the x by itself, which is always the objective, is to divide, which is the opposite of multiplication. So 20 times x, the opposite is multiply. So you leave your 180 in its original position, and then this 20 gets divided, right, to become 180 divided by 20. And how many times does 20 go into 180? It goes 9 times, right? So x equals 9. So now we've established what x is. So now we got to plug that into the 7x and the 13x, right? So 7x, we know what x is now. It's no longer the unknown. So 7 times x, x is 9, so 7 times 9. And what is that? That is 63. And then 13x means 13 times x, x is 9, so 13 times 9. And what is that? That is 117. So now what does that mean? That means that this angle that was initially representing 7x is now 63 degrees, so we're going to put that there. And the 13x is 117 degrees. So now going back to our opposite or vertical angles up here, that is exactly what's happening down here in this left corner. right? So if this is 63 degrees now, you can see that this X that's formulating here, where the two lines intersect, the opposite angle is here. So if this is 63 degrees, then so is this. So I'm going to insert that there, 63 degrees. And if this is 117 degrees, then so is the vertical angle here, the opposite angle. So R is 117 degrees. Now look what's happening, right? So you can see what's happening here. The angle, we have two of them. We have 42 degrees up here. We have 63 degrees here. Now we can get to find the Z finally, right? After all this calculation. So how do we do that? Well, you see this triangle that's formulated here? One of the rules of triangles is that all three angles of a triangle equals 180 degrees. Whether it's an equilateral triangle, scalene, or an isosceles triangle is irrelevant, right? All three angles of a triangle is 180. So how do we get to find what Z is then? So we have to add what we know to get what we don't know. So now we have 63 plus 42, and what is that going to get us, right? So we have 3 and 2 is 5, 6 and 4 is 10. So these two make 105. To get what we don't know, we have to subtract 105 from the total of the 180, right? So we have 180 here minus this 105. All right, and then by the time we do all our calculations and borrowing and stuff, right, this becomes 75. So now we know that this angle Z is 75 degrees. Let's put it up here. What is the value of Z? 75 degrees. I know it sounds weird to my British viewers saying Z, because this is the only letter in the alphabet that's pronounced differently between the two countries. Z. All right, but you know, I'm in America now, I live here, so I have to say that. I have to say Z. So this, guys, is how you do it. All right, so any questions, please ask below. And if you have another strategy, please share. I always love to see different ways that you can solve this. And I'll see you next time in another math video. Thank you for watching. Class dismissed.